Troopz TV, presented by Barstool Sports, onto the player rating segment for the Man City Arsenal game at the Emirates. So it should be Arsenal Man City ended 3-1 to Manchester City. Let's start with Aaron Ramsdale and go.
If Tomiyasu doesn't get in the way of that Jack Grealish shot, he saves it. You understand? The deflection's what took it over him. You get me? The Haaland goal, nothing he can do.
There's nothing here.
The De Bruyne goal, nothing he can do. The only thing I'll say about Ramsdale is his kicking today was a bit off. You get me? He was just kicking and not really aiming. You understand? There was times when he could have played out from the back and he was kind of rushing at it. You get me? That's probably the only bit of criticism I can give Ramsdale today. And there was a chance when in the second half when he fumbled a header and they nearly scored. So I give Ramsdale, he conceded 3 goals, so you get me. I'm gonna have to give him a 5.
On to right back, Tomiyasu today, in for Ben White.
Tomiyasu I have to give a 4. You get me? He didn't have his best game. I don't know if it's down to rustiness and him not having no game time, but that wasn't the Tomiyasu that I saw last season. You get me? And that wasn't the Tomiyasu that I've seen this season. You understand? He looks very rusty. That incident with Grealish, which caused De Bruyne to get the first goal, he's got to do so much better, bro. You get me? Like the weight of pass back to Ramsdale. You get me? You was literally by the byline. You literally by the byline. All you got to do is just go and it's out, bro. And then we reset and we go again. You get me? But decision making was poor today. Have to give Tommy a 4.
The centre backs. Let's start with Saliba.
Saliba, I'll give a 4 as well, blood. You get me? Man, know me. I'm the head of the Saliba Defence League, but I'm also the head of the Honest League. You get me? And he's been piss poor, to say the least, since the World Cup. You get me? Today, he started off okay, but when he made that poor header, which caused Tomiyasu to do the stupidness, he fell off a cliff, blood. You get me? And it was another poor performance today from Saliba. 4.
Gabriel,
I give a 5. You get me? He was unlucky to get the penalty given against him. Right decision. VAR actually doing its actual fucking job today with the offside decision. But he didn't play as bad as Saliba. You get me? He done a bit better. But still, part of us conceded 3 goals. 5 today.
left back, Zinchenko.
I give a 4 as well. You get me? That third goal, his positioning was shocking. You understand? Like, he gave the ball away a lot as well today, blood. He was inverting too much. Mm-hmm. There was times when there was literally no one on the left-hand side, bro. You get me? Like, Xhaka was in the 8, Quay up there. He wasn't even going into the left-back row. It was maybe 1-2 times I see him go to the left. There was no one on the left. It was just Martinelli, Quay up top by himself again. You understand? And he done poor today, bro. You get me? He got nutmegged like 4 times in the game, bro. I've never seen no one get a nutmeg 4 times in a match, bro. You don't even see that in training, blood. You understand? He was fucking terrible today, bro. He needs to be dropped for the next game. I'm not going to lie. I want Tierney in the next game, bro. I wanted Tierney in for Brentford. Yeah, me. I'm pushing KT right now, blood. 4 for Zinni.
On to midfield, debutant. Well, not debutant, but full debut. Full debut at home, Jorginho. Your thoughts on him?
Jorginho, I give a 5. He got spun a couple times, you get me? But for his debut, he done all right. You understand? The third goal, it wasn't. Now you know I'm going to give him a 5 because he wasn't that bad. But the third goal, he needs to do a lot better. The way they just breathed through the midfield, you understand? He was non-existent in that.
Wait, that's a Grealish one, right?
No, that's the Haaland one.
No, it's the Haaland.
When Gundogan was driving and then he fed it into De Bruyne, and then De Bruyne's whipped it across and Haaland's come, bang. You understand? He needs to stop Gundogan there, bro. You get me? But he didn't do too bad today. I was pleasantly surprised. You understand? So a 5 for Jorginho.
Even on the Grealish, a faster player, so Partey could have gotten to Grealish a bit quicker and causing some trouble, but he wasn't on. Granit Xhaka, midfield.
Xhaka, I give a 5 as well. You understand? He's he's not looking as good as he did before the World Cup. You get me? He's lost a little intensity in his game. You understand? And we needed him today to be that enforcer in the midfield, and he wasn't that, blood. You get me? It was an average performance from Granite. 5.
Martin Odegaard in the 10-hole.
He was poor again today. You get me? He was poor again today, bro. He came out earlier in the day with that video calling for the fans to get to the ground early, make noise and rare.
We did our job.
But he didn't do his job. You get me? He never got there early, blood. He never turned up, blood. You understand? Like, I was very disappointed with Odegaard today. You get me? He wasn't getting on the ball. He wasn't his usual self. You get me? And it was a very average performance from him. 5.
On to the front players, Martinelli.
Martinelli.
Just ineffective.
He was very ineffective.
No mistakes,
today.
but ineffective.
Yeah, because he weren't getting the ball again. When he was getting the ball, he had like 3-4 men around him.
3-4 around him.
He was dropping deep.
Same shit.
Yeah, he was dropping deep to get the ball because he wasn't fucking getting it. So you just have to give him a standard 5, blood.
Oh, God. Eddie,
I give a 4. Yeah, he got us the penalty, but that was probably all he did, blood. You get me? The chances he missed, he has to be hitting the target at least, bro. You get me? You're on 100K a week, blood. You have to hit the target, big man. Minimum. You understand? And yeah, man. It was a Eddie and Nketiah in performance. 5.
cost us that game. Saka.
4, sorry. 4.
Saka, even lower, dude. It needs to be like a 2. those headers, the free headers, bro. The free header, that first free header was just outside that 6-yard box, and he couldn't even get it on. It's Saka.
Saka tried. You understand? He got the goal. He was getting the shit kicked out of him in that first half. The amount of times that I don't know how Bernardo got away with so much. Even Ake fucking teamed up and started to kick him down.
Yeah.
You get me? They were taking turns with Saka, blood. Pause. You understand? And he had a tough game today, bro. You get me? And I feel sorry for him, blood. He looked fucking heartbroken at full time. He looked like me. You get me? You could see it hurts Saka, bro. You can see it hurts him, blood, when we don't win. You get me? But today I'm going to give Saka a 6. He'll get the highest score.
And then on to the guys that came off the bench. Who came off? Trossard,
I give he lost the ball on the third goal. He was the one that got pressed. And then Gabriel tries to pass it and then he loses it. And Rodri gets it, feeds Gundogan and they're in. You understand? But going forward, he did bring something to our game, did bring something different. But because he was involved in that third goal, you've got to give him a 5.
Who else came on? Ben White.
Yeah, he didn't even really do nothing. Blood.
Quiet. And Fabio.
Yeah, really didn't do nothing as well. Blood. Standard 5.
On to the manager.
Arteta, I give a 4 today. For me, the lineup, you get me? Like, I personally would have gone with Ben White. Like, when I did a preview with Cams and that, shout out Cams, I actually said that if Ben White fucks up today, then I drop him for Villa. You get me? I wouldn't have started Tomiyasu. You understand? I would have started Zinchenko today because it's Man City. But Nketiah wouldn't have started for me today. It would have been Trossard, Martinelli, and Saka. You get me? Because right now, our front three is what it is. It's Saka's on the right, Martinelli's on the left, and Nketiah's down the middle. There's no interchanging. There's no fluidity. There's no movement. It's just static. You get me? His changes, he took too long to make the changes. It's the same old changes as well. But Tomiyasu for Ben White, Trossard for Martinelli, Fabio Vieira for fucking Xhaka. It's just it's getting too predictable, blood. You get me? So Arteta's got to hold a 4 today.
Then lastly, the ref.
The referee pissed me off a couple times. You understand? When he gave that penalty to City, that one sent me over the top, bro. You understand? The way that he was allowing Saka to get kicked down was not good enough. You get me? We always say protect the fair play. We always say protect the flair players because we want to see dribbling. We want to see attacking football. And if a man's getting kicked down every 2 minutes, he's not going to want to do that. You get me? You have to protect him. He didn't do that. Referee gets a -10, the bald prick.
All right, that's the player rating segment for the game at the Emirates. Arsenal 1, Man City 3. TroopzTV, presented by Barstool Sports. We're out of here.
Edu out.